Okay, guys, so welcome whoever's in the chat already. Well, I see Kristen's in the chat, so welcome in, Christian. Good to see you. So tonight's video, what are we doing live? Well, you might be watching this not live, you might be watching this after the event. So if you are, thanks for dropping in and checking out the video. So we're going to have a look at some digital cameras to have a look and see what gold recovery material is inside the digital cameras. So I've got a couple of Sonys and one Panasonic camera here. So again, there will be some gold recovery material inside these old digital cameras. So we'll, and again, gives me an excuse to use the small toolkit with all the little bits and pieces on it. So first off, we're just going to remove all the screws as normal and we'll get it going. So if you haven't hit the like, whoever's in the chat, please do. I would appreciate it. If you have, well, thank you very much for hitting the like. So again, if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything, put it in the chat and we'll have a look at it in a minute. So first off, I'm just going to remove any screws I see on this. Batteries already have been removed. This took the, hey, scrap it all. This took the little AA batteries that was in this one. Some of them will have their own batteries, but this was a AA battery. It had a USB for charging there, obviously, for connecting to PCs and stuff like that to transfer any information. So just having a look to see if there's any more screws. Now I can see already there, but I don't know, can you see it? These little contacts here are gold plated or gold flashed, whichever you want to call it. So that's the first little bit of gold that I can see already on there. So let me just see if I can break that off so you can see that a bit better, if I can get it to come off. There we go. We'll just break it off because we're not going to be too worried about it. So for those, say Patrick Williams, for those people looking there, you can see that's got a bit of gold plating on it. So that's the first part of what we have in there that is gold plated. So we'll just put that aside. So I've removed the screws that were here. There was 3 screws, and we'll see if this pops open, or do I need to remove some more screws from around. And have a look to see if I can see any more screws anywhere I don't. So it should just pop apart essentially, but we might need a little flathead screwdriver to take off that cover. So we'll get a screwdriver from the wall over here. Looking for one with a nice small flat end on it that can go in underneath. Okay, this one will have to do so. I don't have the smallest one there, thing. So Patrick Williams, hi, Scrapping Irish and all in chat. Welcome in, Patrick. Good to see you, sir. Hope all is good down your side of the country at the moment. I think there's some heavy rain coming down that side of the country. A yellow warning for rain. So again, we're just trying to see where we can open this from. Sometimes there can be hidden screws underneath these, so we'll have a look. And there's 2 little screws here. So we remove them screws. So yeah, this for anyone that's wondering, yes, there is gold in these sort of things. Very little amount. Again, like anything, you're going to need a lot of it to make it worthwhile. But so if you've got 4 or 5 little cameras like this, you're not going to make a lot of gold out of it. There might be some aluminium stuff like that on it. So it all kind of adds up bit by bit of the material. So I just want to try and remove this little cover here. It's probably hiding some screws under it if I can. And there's 2 more screws under here, or 3 screws actually here. But if you got them lying around, or you can get your hands on a lot of them, then just collect up the boards and stuff like that we'll see in a minute. And some LEDs, some of them might have LED lenses or LED lighting for flashes on them. And they can have gold bond wires in the LED lighting as well. So I think I have removed everything. So there we go. We have the first part off. I'm just having a look here at to see was there any contacts on here, but there isn't. That's just plastic. So again, into the rubbish with the plastic. We don't need to worry about that. have a quick look and see if there's any more screws before I go any further. Yeah, another little screw up here on top. So like anything small, there's always going to be loads of screws. It's just the way it is. So got our screws. Again, have a quick look to see if there's anything there. Nothing there on that. So it's going to go into my plastic. Now we can see already we've got a circuit board with a chip on it. So we have a IC chip, so that's going to be kept for gold, and this board will be kept for gold. So I'm going to remove off the LCD screen off it. So we'll just remove that off. Check the connectors in case this can be gold flash sometimes. Hey Mickey, welcome in. Good to see you. So we'll just have a quick look. Yeah, and we've got our first bit of gold on there. So you can see the flashed on the ribbon wire is gold. So again, I just rip that off and we put that in with our gold flashed ribbon wires and stuff like that when we come to that LCD screen. I know there's precious metals in them, but at the moment I have no way of recovering them, so it's not something I worry too much about. Now screws again. So again, chance to use the old Temu screwdriver set. So how's everyone been keeping in the chat? What have you been up to? What have you been working on, guys? Doing any gold recovery, scrap metals? What scrap metals have you been working on? I see Patrick Williams has been busy with printers and printer boards and stuff like that. This Scrapping Irish, surprise seeing midweek. Well, I do a midweek every second Wednesday, Mickey. We do a midweek where I tear down some stuff that I have in the shed and we have a look at it live and a chat. And again, people probably watch the video at a later stage. So again, this here is like your zincs or your what would it be, scrap it all? What would you call it if you're still there in the chat, or anyone? What would you call this stuff? What would you put it in with? Some places would take like in with their aluminium, stuff like that. So check out and see what your scrapyard takes that sort of stuff with on it. Now we can get a closer look at the board once I take out a few more screws. We'll have a closer look at what contacts we have on here. Every now and then I drop one on Wednesday. Oh, hey, Scrap It All. That's what I've seen. Scrap It All done a midweek video. Sorry, I read that wrong. I'll have to have a look for Scrap It All's midweek video. So he does one I thought you were on about my live on a Wednesday. But yeah, Scrap It All. I must check out. You've done a midweek video. Break up the week. Isn't that right, Scrap It All? And just having a look to see if there's any more screws before I go popping anything off, because the screws, easier to take them out now. Got a little screw down here. These tiny little screws. The old bucket of screws is getting filled up. How long will it take to fill that up with all these little Wednesday scrap outs? I think that's another screw here. And there's still something holding it somewhere. I can feel it, but we have most of it now. Okay, so another screw on top. That's where it is. All right, so I can see some gold in there. I'll leave that for a second. We have a capacitor of sorts here. So again, this camera is so old, I'm not worried about getting any shock off any capacitors or anything because there's nothing in there. So we've this is the board with the actual flash on it, so you can see where the light was there. So that's give us our flash. Patrick Williams, I have a box of them to do as well. Lots of screws. At the moment, I'm in the middle of breaking down a big. Yeah, I seen that with your printers. I was just saying that you're at the moment you're working on printers. So we can see some gold flashing on this board. I just want to try and remove this white tape that does be over, so we can see some gold. Yeah, some nice gold flashing there. I just want to pull that bit of plastic with the thing on it. I will check that later to see if there's any LED light in there that could have a bond wire in it. So yeah, you can see here. Let me pull this off. Bits of tape and stuff on there, but so you can see there we've got our little bit of gold flashing on it, a little bit of gold flashing here. We have on the back, again, you can see gold flashing there on the back. I don't know, does it catch it? There we go. You can see now with the lighting catching it. So we've got some gold there on that. So that's not too bad. A few little gold connectors here, like little pins that I can take off and recover the gold off them at some stage. So we'll put that aside. Then we have some more here just to remove this plastic. I see a screw underneath here that I need to try and get to, but might just break it off there for the moment. There we go. And again, we'll just pull out that ribbon wire and have a quick look and see, yes, gold plated again. So again, we have some gold plating on the ribbon wire. Can't really see it there. Sorry about that, guys. Can't really focus. But there is gold on that ribbon wire. And this is our main board on this particular model. So again, we can see there's some chips here that I'll take off. Again, you can get a heat gun, remove the heat gun. You can even just cut them with something like this flathead screwdriver would probably even be sharp enough to cut through them little wires that are attaching it to the actual board. And then once we get through there, we have our chip off. So again, that chip can be put in with the rest of your chips and incinerated at some stage and get the gold bond wires on there. Again, I've done a video where I've done RAM chips, incinerated the RAM chips and got the gold from this in them. So that video is up there if you want to go check it out. If I remember when this video was uploaded and finally rendered again from the live, I will put a link there somewhere so you can see that, or I might put it at the end of the video. So if you're watching this again, check the end of the video, or there might be a link there to show you where I incinerated the chips and got the gold from them. So there's some more chips on that board that I'll take. So that's not too bad of a board. And then we're left with a few bits and pieces. So what have we got here? I've seen some gold. There we go. So in here, we've got some gold connectors in there where the batteries went actually. So they're like gold plated, which is unusual enough for battery connectors. But I suppose if it's a digital camera, they want a good connection on them and they don't want to be losing the connection. So let me pull them out there. So people would say, oh, they're only brass. They're not actually. They are gold plated. I don't know, can you see that? They're gold plated or gold flashed. Yeah, so they're gold flashed. So that's what they're. So I'll put that aside and we'll get on to another camera. So that was a pretty basic one with the Chuck AA batteries. Now this one actually has a battery still left in here, so we'll take the battery out. So again, on the battery we'll have gold contacts. So you can see there the gold contacts on the battery. So that's worth it. And this one actually has an SD card in it. So let me pop it out. So again, this has a 2 gigabyte. It's, well, when I say an SD, it's not. It's one of them Sony memory sticks that Sony used to do themselves. And again, we'll have some gold flashing on the pins. So that will be taken care of. Now, let's take out these screws. Let's see what's in this camera. I might only do 3 cameras tonight because the Sonys, they're kind of all the same. Once you've done one, they're kind of all the same on them. Get this screwdriver here to this one. The screw is kind of rusted on this one, so it might be a bit harder to get out. Okay, so we might have to break that one out in a second. We'll move on to any more screws. I want to see if there's any more around here. I picked the worst one with the screws rounded, but we'll break it if we have to because it's already going to be recycled or scrapped, so it makes no difference. Okay, that seems to be any screws I can actually get out. So we're going to have to liberate the plastic from this one with a bit of force. If we can find a spot where it's easier to remove. So the screws are gone from there. So probably this side. Here we go. So that wasn't too bad. Just to get some plastic into the plastic. And again, we have much the same board. Looking at it here, we got our little capacitor there, and we have some chips on the board. So much the same. Again, we have our flash here, the which gives our, when we selected our flash on the camera. And I pull this up here. Plastic. Now, I'll just see if we can get these screws to move any way at all, just to give us a little bit of leeway. Not many talking tonight, very quiet in the chat. But again, there's football on the TV, and I forgot there was football on the TV and I wanted to watch that game. But anyhow, we can watch it afterwards. So more plastic off, and more or less it now. So we can hopefully pry off the board. I don't see any. Oh, I do. Screws holding it here. Pull out the lens mechanism. So this was where we zoomed in and out. There will be some stuff in that, but I'm not really breaking them down tonight. They're more for when I have a collection of them together. I break them down because they take a bit longer. So again, we have our little capacitor here that I can take off, and inside of that little LED light, if I can just break that capacitor off. So inside of there, there's a, well, it's actually after falling off, is it? There it is. So inside of that little LED light, there's usually a little gold bond wire in there as well. So again, hold on to them if you're looking for your gold bond wires. And anyone that wants to know, gold bond wire is actually solid gold. It's a proper wire of gold, 24 karat usually. So it is proper gold that's in there. So a few of them gold bond wires is a lot more gold than the flashing. Who did I see coming in? I seen Mike's Meltdown. Welcome in. Good to see you, sir. So right, so we're down to the board. Welcome back as well. Scrap it all. Good to see you. You were gone for a few minutes, but you left it playing. So thank you very much for that. And we'll have a look at these little ribbon wires again. So again, we have, if I can put it there, I don't know, can you see that? But we have gold there, so you might be able to see that gold flash on there again, so that can go in with our ribbon wires, our ram fingers, stuff like that when we're doing them in the copper chloride to release them. So on this board, not quite as big, or it's a lot smaller board than the first one, and a lot less gold flashing, because you can see the gold flashing here. But on this one, it's more the chips, some MLCCs, some chips over here, again, some MLCCs on it. So yeah, there'll be some gold wires under here where the card went in to it. And what have we left with here? So again, I can see some more ribbon wire. So we have another little bit needs to be popped off here. So pull that off. So plastic. And we have another board here on the front. Now, sometimes under these little connectors, they can be gold or they can be silver. Hey, truck fan, welcome in. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Let me just pop off one of them and see. Yeah, so they're gold flashed underneath there. So pop off this board as well. We'll take off the screen first. So on that screen again, we have another bit of gold. If you can see it there, I don't know, can we see it right? Gold flashed finger. So rip that off, put that with the gold ribbon wire, and we'll release them at some stage. And then we can pop off this little button here, and there's one little screw under there. If we can get them out. Sorry, I just need to get the screwdriver into the right spot. And hopefully we can release him. So again, we get up here on top, we have another bit of gold on the ribbon wire that was connecting there, and underneath these little, what would be normally buttons or switches above them, we should have some gold underneath there. If we can pop one of them off to show you. If I can get it off, or is this one a silver one that's under this one? Yeah, these are silver actually. It's under here. These aren't the gold ones. These are just your silver dot will be underneath this. There we go. So in the, actually it's gold. So I was wrong twice there. So underneath there, there's a little gold center in there, and so they can be got for there for the gold. And on this board as well, underneath these, you can see there's gold under here. So when I pop these off, so just a matter of rubbing the screwdriver over the top, releasing these off, and we have our gold flashed connectors where there was controls on the back where you press around to select what you wanted. So they again are gold flashed under there, and we can just remove that board, hopefully. There we go. And again, we're left to check that to see if that's magnetic or is it just aluminium that's there. So get our magnet, and the magnet is not sticking. So I'll take that off the plastic, and we'll have a little bit of aluminium, put that aside. That's for later. So there's the board again. Now, let's see what people say in the comments. Truck fan, let me see, had a few bloopers this week. Any bloopers, you Irish? No, actually one thing, Irish, those Sony cameras use memory cards which are worth a little. Well, this is the memory card that was in that Sony. It was a 2 gig one. It was one of the old Sony ones. So yeah, they might be worth a bit on eBay. You're correct. Some with batteries if working. The chargers can also bring if again, Truck fan makes a good point. If you can sell these as spare parts to someone, that will make you a lot more money than scrapping them out for the gold recovery. So good point, Truck fan, well done. Now we have a Panasonic one. So again, this is a Panasonic instead of a Sony. Has the battery. So again, the battery may be worth selling on eBay if it's working, if I had a charger for it or whatever. So again, I was given this by people, so they said they weren't working anymore and they didn't give me the chargers. It was just old cameras. So I doubt I'll be selling that on eBay. So again, we'll just remove whatever screws I see, and we'll have a quick look at the Panasonic compared to the Sony and see if there's any better better boards or better gold content. No, so far for the size of the actual items, the boards have been fairly decent with the chips and stuff on them. There was a nice number of chips on them for what they are. They're just little digital cameras that people probably don't use anymore because their phones can do a lot more, except for the optical zoom. Like we say, for instance, this is 10 optical zoom that was on this one. So a lot of the camera phones can't get to the higher optical zooms because they just don't have a lens that will come out, essentially. So that's the issue. Had a Sony A100 AS, is it AS100? Came in and seemed to work. Bought a cheap case lens and so enough. Worked fine. Sold it for $275. Always test them. Yeah, good point. Always test them if you're looking to resell. Because if they're working, you're going to make more money than you will from scrapping them, and that ain't maybe. That is fact. So, as everyone knows, scrap is the least amount of money you're going to make from any item. Is scrap. If you can reuse it, repurpose it, resell it for other than scrap value, you're making money, aren't you? A lot more than scrap. So again, if I had probably looked, I could have maybe sold these as spare parts, but I don't really sell on eBay. I don't deal with the hassle of it. I find it, I tried once and it was just grief, and there was people wasting time and people putting bids on stuff and then not putting the payment through and having to relist it again, stuff like that. So I just said, to hell with it, ain't going wasting my time with it. And again, everyone has their own way of doing things. Some people, eBay, they make a fortune on. Other people, like me, don't bother with it. Connection 150. Okay, what's this now? Hold on. UK gold price is only 150 off, reaching 2k per ounce, up 27 on the last year. Yeah, gold prices are really up at the moment, Loafer, and pity the rest of the prices, copper and stuff, don't follow as quickly. But copper's up again, I suppose. Copper's still up from this time last year. So you should probably know that from buying copper, Loafer, for jobs that you're doing. So I think I've removed all the screws on this. No, there's some more here. I was going to say I thought I'd removed all the screws, but I haven't. On this Panasonic camera. Yeah, eBay is definitely hard work these days. When eBay started first, it was great. You could pick up some good bargains. You could sell stuff at a reasonable price as well. But now, even like I see for people that are trying to do gold recovery, you used to be able to buy stuff on eBay at a good price. But nowadays, it's just crazy, the money they're looking for some stuff, and it's just not worth it, and don't go down that road. Have we missed one? No, all the screws are out, so that should just pop out, and there they are. So I can already see this board is much the same as the Sony one was a minute ago. Let me pull off a few bits of tape that are holding things in here, so we can get a right look at it. And again, we have some little gold connectors there on the end of that, so that will go in there. And we have some more under here. We'll come back to that in a second. That was the LCD screen, so we'll come back to that in a second. Right, so again, we can remove these little ribbon wires that are connected in there, and I can see gold on that one already. And I'm presuming the one that's under here will also have gold on it. It does. So nice little connectors on them. So we'll remove them. So again, we've got some nice gold. You can see the gold flashing there. I presume you can see the gold flashing there. Maybe not, but you can. It's there. So again, on that, we've got the gold, and we've got some screws here now that need to be removed, unless this board can pop off. It does. And we'll just remove again because we've got gold on that. Here's the board. We'll have a look under these little switches. Are they gold or are they silver connectors? There we go. So I'll just take one off, and I'll have to have a right look at that. So that's just got the silver in the center. So that one has a little silver dot in the center. So that's for silver recovery. Chips on this side for the gold recovery. We've got a gold band oscillator for some gold recovery again in there. So that's the first board. This one has two boards, one under another. And what is people saying? Let me check it out. Chuck Farms asked about bloopers, so Strapper said I don't have any. I'm going to pop off, Irish. Need to process. Okay, you do that. As I say, if you've stuff to be doing, you've stuff to be doing. I don't expect people to stop everything they're doing just because I'm live. But I do expect you to put the thumbs up if you haven't. Appreciate it if you do. What's Mike saying here? What bloopers do people want to see? I try to leave everything in when I'm recording. Yeah, some people take the bloopers out when things go wrong and to pretend everything went perfect. Again, everything's never going to go perfect. Even like taking out these screws, you'll come across screws that are round. You'll have to break them out. You'll have the wrong type of screwdriver set for them. All the things. Who does I see coming in there? I've seen Paul Frost. Paul Frost, welcome in. Good to see you. So let's get the second board out if we can. So we're being held on by something. Here we go. It's popped off. So on the second board, we have, again, we have our little chips here on top. Not a huge amount. We've got some gold plating on the connectors here. So they're gold plated or gold flashed. I keep saying gold plated. Some of them are just like really bad flashing on them and really thin. And again, under here, we've gold connectors with flashing on them, so that can be put in to recover the gold from them. So again, another board, not a bad little board. What have we got here? We've got another ribbon wire that has gold fingers on it. We have another board underneath there, so we need to get down to that one if we can. So we'll take out some screws here. Left in my video. Different screwdriver for this one. Okay, so again, we might take this one apart because it's a bit bigger than the other ones, and it might be interesting to see what's inside of here. So we'll take this actual apart. We'll have a look inside and see if there's anything of interest in here. The Sony ones are quite small compared to it, so they're probably not as much optical zoom on them, maybe 3 or something like that, or 4 or 5. This is a 10 optical zoom, so it's quite a bit bigger size-wise. Again, has anyone heard from Pooh's mate lately? Hopefully all is good with her. I haven't seen her on anyone's lives or videos in a while. So again, what have we here? We have any gold connectors? No gold connectors. We have a little motor here. So again, tiny little motor that you can put into your for your motors. If anyone wants to pull that off, put it in with your copper bearing motors. Another little motor down here. So you can see there's a motor here as well. So some more tiny screws. Plenty of tiny screws in this one. I still have a mark on my stomach trying to get leverage on my snips in the video. Even if I don't show the mark it left on me. So I think that's all the screws out of that part. So hopefully we can pop this out, if it'll pop out. So it's just like a cog system. So I want to try and, if I move the cogs, I wonder will this lens open? If I can, no, wrong way. Can I go that way? No, can't get enough on it. So we'll try and pop out them cogs if I can. There we go. So bit of plastic, bit of motor, no gold recovery material there. Now we have our actual lens in here. As you can see, the lens is in there. Can we try and pop this open somehow? I don't see any more screws. Can always hit it with a hammer, couldn't we? This is the bit where the screwdriver slips and goes into my hand. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste much time there now on that, because that's just too much plastic sealed around. So we'll leave that aside. No need to be wasting more time with that. What have we got left here? So we have a board left here on the top that I need to get to. So we can try and pop that off if I can. Okay, we'll leave that aside for a second. We've got a little capacitor, which is in here. I think it's a capacitor, and maybe it's not. It's plastic, which I need to pop out, because we've got another little bit of a board underneath here. It was a capacitor. I was right. Capacitor there. And we have a little bit of a board on that capacitor with nothing major there. And we still have a little bit of a ribbon wire here. So again, some, oh, threw that away. Some gold connectors on there, very tiny ones. And then we're left with some plastic. So get it into the bin with the plastic. And we're just going to have a look at this board down here. A couple of screws on it. We're not all bright either. Sometimes we all make mistakes and we all do stuff and we all end up injuring ourselves, Mike. You're not the only one that has the wounds of your hobbies and your crafts and your YouTube stuff. Everyone has wounds from it. And anyone that says that they never hurt themselves or never cut themselves or never leave a mark on themselves are lying. Now we do try and make sure we do as much safety as we can, but it doesn't always work that way. As you'll see in a minute when I stick this screwdriver through my hand. So, I don't see any more screws holding it, but it just doesn't want to pop off, so there must be something holding it somewhere. We'll try and get in there. There we go. So, okay, so what are we here? So we have, I can see a bit of gold flashing here. I don't know, is that coming through on the camera? But there is gold flashing there. And there's, might be a little bit of gold under here. If we can pop that off. Let's see if that's gold or silver. So silver again. So a little silver dot in the center. So for your silver recovery, guys, there's a little bit of silver in there. That's just your rotary turn switch. So again, you'll have a little bit of silver under there. A little bit of gold flashing here. Nothing major on it. Yeah, so a little bit better than I expected in these cameras, to be honest with you. Irish, you are using the most dangerous tool in my shed right now. The number of screwdriver stabs, yeah, they are. Everyone just gets a screwdriver, slips off, stabs them into here, usually get it stuck in there. You're holding something like this, just slap, and then away you go. All of a sudden, you've got a screwdriver protruding from your hand. So it's just one of those things. I'm just seeing if I can pop out this. Guess a screwdriver, might as well. Pop out the LCD screen. So again, we have our LCD screen. There is, I know there's precious materials in there, or minerals and stuff, but I don't know how to recover them, and I'm not even going to try. So for the moment, they just go to my e-waste recycling center and let them deal with it. They have the machinery to do that. So what time are we at, guys? Hey, Grandpa Kevin, good to see you, sir. We're at 22. Yeah, we've done 40 minutes so far. So I'm just going to see if we've any other camera that's kind of interesting to take apart, or is it the same? This is the same as what I already did. That's the exact same as what I already did, and I think this one is the exact same as what I already did as well. I know in a second. Let me have a look at the side here. Might be slightly different. You know what? We've got a few minutes left, so we'll take this one apart and we'll have a quick look in this one. The other one I'm not going to bother because it's the same as the very first camera I took apart. So we'll just take out the screws on this one and we'll see. How are you, Grandpa Kevin? Hope all is good. I hate screwdrivers, little ones. Yeah, and then you touch something later on, it stings because of it and stuff like that. They are a bit of a pain, them screwdriver stabs. Kevin, what have you been up to today? Anything interesting? Scrap any stuff out? Have you managed to clear any of that e-waste that you picked up from the schools a while back? I think you brought most of it to the scrapyard, did you? And cashed it in. We have a screw that won't come out, but sure, we'll break it out in a minute. Back, Truck Fan. Welcome back, Truck Fan. We're still here. Just doing one more camera, and then we're going to call it quits for the night. I'll go in and I'll watch the football, the second half. Anything there? No more screws there. A few screws here. So again, if anyone has already taken stuff apart like these cameras, laptops, printers, you know the amount of screws you get in them. It's terrible. I like a Panasonic camera. Yeah, the Panasonic camera was okay. No, the first Sony was okay. It was a nice board on the first Sony, which was that board, which was quite a big board. Some gold flashing, some nice big chips on it, MLCCs, which was quite interesting. Got a few other boards then, which they all add up. They all got chips, gold flashing, some gold flashing on them. So, and again, we had a lot of them ribbon wires so far. So they're not too bad, you know, better than I'd expect. For the size of them, the actual materials are quite good. But again, I suppose if you're buying these when they were back in the day, they were quite expensive. So you would expect to at least get some decent gold recovery material from them. So again, we'll just get the screwdriver, the one that's going to stab me before the show is finished. I know it is. I can just feel it. Okay, so again, that's just plastic. So back in the plastic. Rubbish with that for the recycling. Again, we'll just take off the lens. We'll remove any of these ribbon wires that are got the gold on them. So again, we've got some gold here. Rip that off. We've got our gold ribbon wire again. And rip them off. So I'll put that aside again. I'll probably get a hammer to these and break them down with the hammer. So to make sure there's nothing that I've left behind. No gold gets left behind. That's simple as. On here, again, we have our gold connector at the end. We'll keep that. And we've got our board. So a few screws here holding this board in. Some nice chips again on this board. So people sometimes overlook the chips for the gold recovery and they just look for the visible gold that they can see. And they forget that all these chips usually have gold bond wires in them, which is of higher value than the gold that will be on the flashed stuff. Because the flashed gold is not pure gold or not solid. It's just a little layer on top, where the gold bond wires are usually solid bond wires that are running through the chips. So it's just a matter of incinerating them out and getting them that way. So let's remove this board. So again, we have some bits and pieces sticking to it. So ribbon wire again. And we've got a nice little gold flashed connector in the center there. I don't know, can you see? The lighting is so bad. I need to get a light on this wall. I have good lighting behind me, but the lighting actually on the wall where the camera is, I need to improve that. So I need to put a light above there, but it's gold flashed in the center. And again, the ribbon wire is gold flashed. Pull out these little ribbon wires, and again, gold flashed on that one. And what have we here? Another ribbon wire, is it? If we can disconnect it. No, that was just a bit of tape holding two things together. So nothing there. I can see gold pins in here. So let me get my, where is it gone? Can I zoom you in, guys, a bit? There we go. A little bit more zoom. So there's little gold connector wires in there, on there. And again, on the board here, we have some nice chips, some MLCCs. Depending on the age of these MLCCs may contain some platinum metals, silver, but again, if they're newer ones, you're looking at zinc, stuff like that in them, a little battery. So that's okay. And what have we got left? So again, we have a little capacitor, which I'll pull out there. The board, the capacitor has a board. So this capacitor, I think, most of them was for the flash, so it held a bit of power, so give it a little bit a better flash. I think it was to do with that. Now, again, I don't know exactly. On this board, we have some very tiny little chips, hardly worth the effort, but if you've got some winter work you need to get working on, can pass a bit of time. And again, we've got on the ribbon wire here, on the ribbon wire here, gold flashed. So that will do. Are you in the shed? Yeah, I'm in the shed, Kevin. Sorry, I wasn't reading the messages there for a minute. I actually recycle the entire thing now, CRTs and all. Okay, I broke down 3 old CRT projectors, TVs this past week, and the Dell CR. So when you say you recycle a CRT complete, are you able to, what do you do with the screens on it, Mike? Oh, Paul got his first EEPROM, which is nice when you get them first EEPROM with the gold in them. They're nice. Yeah, I'm in the shed, Kevin. Be right back. Truck fan said, well, Truck fan, I'm about to finish up, so you mightn't be back before I finish. Right, what are we left with? We're left with some little gold flashing in these little pins in here, so we'll just take that out and have a look and see if it's worth the effort. Well, of course I'm going to take it out. It doesn't matter if it's worth the effort or not. For me, it's a hobby. So again, a little bit of metal. Can check and see if that's magnetic or not. We'll just pop this out if we can get our screwdriver behind it. Come on, there we go. Popped him out, and there's our little gold pins in here. If I can just remove this so you can see it properly from it, the metal from the plastic. So there we go. So again, you can see these little pins are gold tipped, so they can be put in with your gold flash pins. And we've got some gold flashing here and here, a little bit of gold flashing, and some more underneath there, very tiny bit, but all adds up. But we have some little gold flashing. That's magnetic. That's where the speaker was actually. So there's a little gold tabs on the end of this little speaker here and here. So I don't know, can you see them either? A bit hard to see them, but there you are. There you go. So you can see the gold, a little bit of gold flashing there. So not too bad actually. Again, on this for the Sony. So the Sonys seem to have slightly better boards, I think, than the Panasonic was. I would definitely say that by looking at them. But again, it's hard to know until you do the gold recovery stage on it. But the Sonys did look like a lot better boards on them for gold recovery. So let's see what's happening in the chat. Hey Tommy, welcome in, by the way. The screens get ground to sand and used in cement mix to make block and raised bed flower gardens. The cement provided the lead from the leaching out. Oh, very good. So welcome in, Tommy. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, we're about to finish up as you come in, but that doesn't matter. So guys, as always, appreciate everyone that's come in. If you're watching this video at a later stage, please hit the like, please leave a comment, and as always, we'll be live on this Sunday coming. This is for the people that are listening live now. I don't know when you're listening, so you might be listening 10 years down the road and I mightn't even be alive anymore. But so again, take care all, as Scrap It All has just said, and I will catch you on the next one. Leave a comment, leave a like, and share it out if you wish. See you on the next one, guys. Thanks for being in. Appreciate everyone that's been in. Thank you.